Caravan SandWitch. Why does the name of this game make me hungry? I hate to burst your bubble, but look a little closer at that title. It's SandWitch. You know, like the kind that ride brooms and cast spells, not the kind that come on white wheat or rye. Odd name aside, Caravan SandWitch is all about peace and love, exploration, and yes, de-stressing gamers. But does this narrative adventure satisfy the soul? Or does it feel like I have sand in my pants after playing? Let's find out in our full review. Real quick, don't fall for the mirage of the gaming echo chamber. Head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to gain Discord access, early shows, and support indie visibility. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Caravan SandWitch wastes no time tossing you into the action. Well, I guess I shouldn't really say action, so much as laid-back exploration, maybe even relaxation. This is a game about questing, connection, discovery, and helping friends both old and new. There is no damage, there is no death. You can literally drive your van off a cliff, and the worst thing that can happen is you'll be sent back to the garage. This is a game for those of you that aren't so hungry for action, but need a nice open world to traverse and unwind in. It's a game for the kind of folks that like to leave a place a little better than they found it. You'll control Sauge, French for Sage, who receives a distress signal from her missing sister, Garrett's ship. It's been years since she was seen, and Garrett's is presumed dead. But Sauge is not giving up and hopes the spaceship holds some clues as to what happened to her missing sister. This quest for answers won't be easy, requiring the use of an upgradable caravan in order to explore certain areas in the world of Cigalo. Also, there may or may not be some kind of a mysterious entity watching your every move. A little unsettling, to say the least. Progressing in the game means driving around and collecting components to upgrade the caravan with various tools. Players have a main objective to follow, but can also take part in various optional side quests. Taking on these quests can earn you additional scrap components. Sauge will also need to travel on foot at times, utilizing basic platforming skills like running and jumping. Much of the game's story is told through dialogue between Sauge and the various individuals they come in contact with. Friends, relatives, robots, and the frog-like Reintos will all share bits of their story with you. Most of these conversations occur over semi-static images of the characters involved via text boxes, while other bits of dialogue are shared through the Toaster app, a social media-esque messaging service where you can take on new missions and receive various important data. The rest of the dialogue occurs between Sauge and an acquaintance while driving the van, which did not always make for the easiest of reading. Sure, I could gain some insight on a character, but I might veer off course and drive off a cliff in the process. Sacrifices must be made. The game has a defined theme and underlying message of the consequences of human exploitation on an environment and the need for us to look after our world and each other, though it is definitely a more sunny outlook of a post-apocalyptic reality than I'm accustomed to. The message is a warm one, but didn't always hold my interest, sometimes becoming a little tedious in the longer narrative sections. It certainly gives you as the player a decent explanation for your purpose through the game's general exploration. The characters are charming, like the tadpole creatures you can bribe to rescue with mushroom snacks, but it's the exploration and chill vibes that are the star of this show. Missions overall consist of a lot of fetch quests, platforming puzzles, and collecting, so if this isn't your cup of tea, you may find the gameplay a little bit dull. To be honest, this was my initial impression of the title as well. However, the more I played, the more I got into the stress-free nature of Caravan SandWitch's exploration, and the more I enjoyed the game as a whole. Much of your exploration will require you to drive your van, which holds many of your essential tools like a scanner, grappling hook, and hacking device. These tools will be used to gain access to new areas, find important components, and access the various ruins of this world. The van is a little clunky, and it can even get stuck in some pretty goofy ways, like a mushroom stopping you dead in your tracks. The camera can seemingly have a mind of its own while you're driving, making for some pretty jarring angle shifts at times. Also, for a van, it's pretty slow, even while using the acceleration input. And if your van gets stuck, you're out of luck. Like literally, no matter how hard you try to fight it, carrying on with your own 2 feet, that prompt to return to garage will stick around until you have no choice but to obey. Again, Caravan SandWitch is not going to appeal to the action-hungry, but there is something strangely satisfying about completing these quests, exploring more of this world, and interacting with its residents. It's certainly not a perfect experience, but it's one that I enjoyed. the enjoyment was helped in part by the striking visual style. The graphics reminded me a bit of Dungeons of Hinterberg, which was another indie that I recently relished my time with. Maybe it's the red hair, teal jacket combo that both protagonists share, but some of the environmental styles also brought me back to those dungeons, and hey, that's certainly not an insult. Caravan SandWitch does have a lot of desert ruins for you to explore, which is to be expected in a post-apocalyptic world. But there is some decent landscape variety, from forests to caves, cliffs, and beaches. Oddly enough, I preferred the look of the more amphibious inhabitants of this world to the humans, but that could just be my love for frogs talking. There is a lot of world to explore, but much of it does feel appropriately empty. Unfortunately, that doesn't always make it visually stimulating. Either way, the soft colors and lines are incredibly easy on the eyes and are basically the definition of chill. There is no voice acting, but some real nice musical selections that helped set the mood of the game. There's an indie rock vibe to a lot of the songs that remind me a bit of the songs they included in the Life is Strange games, but without the big name artists attached. Regardless, there are gentle vocals with chill beats and some cool synths that are really pleasant. Outside of these tracks, there's a lot of ambient guitar sounds that enhance the game's relaxing nature. Performance was also great on my PC. There are quite a few options here for you to customize your gaming experience, and it ran pretty damn smooth. Outside of my van getting stuck here or there, I didn't encounter any major crashes or bugs. If you're looking to play on Steam Deck, the developers are recommending medium quality for now. They are working to get a day one verified version. The game will also be receiving a patch on launch that will improve the resolution and quality. Caravan SandWitch is a low-stress, explorative experience that will appeal to lovers of cozy collecting games, the casual platformers, and any other gamers that need a way to unwind from the stresses of the real world. It is not for those that crave chaos and challenge from their gameplay, but somehow I don't think that kind of gamer has made it this far into the review anyways. Progress can be a bit slow going if you can't find the components you need or the location of a quest item. Driving isn't the most thrilling experience, and some of the dialogue is long-winded, but there is a distinct charm to the simplicity on display here that I couldn't help but enjoy. Let's go to the final verdict, because here at I Dream of Indie Games we use a 3 genie lamp tier system to review our games, as games are so much more than a number. We have the bronze genie lamp of approval for a good game that has quite a few issues, the silver genie lamp of approval for a great game with just a few small snags holding it back, and then we have the essential games getting the golden genie lamp of approval. These belong in your indie gaming library. We also have the rusty lamp for games that are pretty mediocre but have a faint glimmer of hope, and the dreaded indie Krampus for the games that you need to avoid. When it comes to Caravan SandWitch, I am going to award this title the silver genie lamp of approval.